Hey, Patriots fans, let's dive deep into some of the most talked about topics surrounding New England right now, because there's a storm brewing in the football world, and it's one that touches the heart of this franchise. You know, when it comes to Bill Belichick, you can have all the opinions you want about the hoodie, about the media interactions, about how the relationships ended with Robert Kraft and others, and yes, it was messy at the very end. No one can deny the indelible mark he left on this team. From the first day he took over in New England, the transformation was unmistakable. The way he instilled discipline, the way he built winning systems, the way he molded players into champions, all of it created a legacy that is almost impossible to match in the history of football. And now, seeing him snubbed in his first year of eligibility for the Pro Football Hall of Fame is nothing short of absurd. We all know that the final years, 2021, 2022, and 2023, were rough, but you cannot allow a short period at the end of an extraordinary career to overshadow what came before, the period from 2000 to 2019 when Belichick redefined what excellence looked like in professional football. Think about it. 8 Super Bowl victories, the most in the history of the NFL for a head coach, 9 conference championships, 31 playoff wins, 302 regular season victories, 333 total wins, and that's not even counting the 2 Super Bowls he won as defensive coordinator with the New York Giants. His resume is unparalleled. And yet, somehow, in this bizarre twist of events, the Hall of Fame voters decided he wasn't worthy of first ballot induction. Why? Because he's blunt with the media, because he doesn't coddle the narrative, because a small group of voters allowed personal feelings and bias to overshadow the reality of his achievements. It's frustrating, and honestly, it tarnishes the very institution that is supposed to honor the greatest contributors to the sport. It's not just football either. This is a reflection of how personal prejudices often interfere with fair recognition in sports overall. But with Belichick, it's glaring. You can look at any coach in pro football history and ask, who compares? The answer is clear. Nobody comes close. Now, part of the controversy stems from lingering resentment over Spygate and Deflategate, 2 of the most overanalyzed moments in recent NFL history. According to reports, some voters, including former rival executives, floated the idea that Belichick should face a kind of delayed recognition, a 1-year penalty, because of these incidents. But think about that for a second. Every team tries to gain an edge. Every coach finds creative ways to win games. And yet, this supposed punishment overshadows decades of unparalleled success. Even the people who floated these ideas later tried to walk it back, insisting they didn't have strong opinions, claiming memory lapses about their own votes. That's right. A voter for the Pro Football Hall of Fame actually stated they were unsure whether they cast a vote for the coach who redefined winning in the modern era. That's not just careless. It's insulting. It diminishes the credibility of the Hall of Fame and disrespects the very accomplishments it exists to honor. It's hard to overstate how important Belichick's contributions have been to the evolution of football strategy, the cultivation of player talent, and the establishment of a winning culture in New England that became the envy of every other franchise. And now, to see that overlooked in the first year he was eligible is baffling. The backlash has been loud and unanimous among fans, former players, and even current stars. Tom Brady, who of course shared a historic partnership with Belichick, weighed in, pointing out the obvious. If Belichick can't be a first-ballot Hall of Famer, then the very criteria for head coaches entering the Hall is fundamentally flawed. The logic is simple. Belichick is arguably the greatest head coach the sport has ever seen. His record speaks for itself. And yet, the Hall of Fame process, influenced by emotion, personal grudges, and petty rivalries, allowed him to fall short. It's frustrating, and it's demoralizing for everyone who understands football at a deeper level. And let's not forget, this isn't an issue that is going away quietly. Conversations about fairness, integrity, and recognition in the Hall of Fame will be ongoing because this kind of oversight cannot be ignored. Fans are rightfully outraged. Analysts, former players, and the football community at large see this for what it is, a complete misstep in honoring one of the game's greatest minds. Every stat, every record, every championship should have screamed first ballot induction. And yet here we are, questioning the judgment of those entrusted with preserving the legacy of the sport. Moving on from a Hall of Fame debacle, let's turn our attention to something a bit more positive, something that has New England fans excited as the countdown to Super Bowl 60 continues. One player who has been trending upward and showing glimpses of the potential that made him a key part of this roster is Campbell. If you followed the postseason closely, you know Campbell's journey has been a roller coaster. The first two playoff games against the Los Angeles Chargers and the Houston Texans exposed some vulnerabilities, particularly in pass protection. His grades were mediocre at best, and the pressures and sacks allowed were alarming. But then, in the game against the Denver Broncos, Campbell started to show improvement, stepping up in critical moments and demonstrating better technique and awareness. Against Nick Bosa, one of the league's premier pass rushers, he managed to limit disruption, showing flashes of the dominance that fans have hoped to see. The stats from that game were telling. 0 sacks allowed, just a couple of pressures, and an overall improved pass blocking grade. It wasn't perfect, but it was a clear step in the right direction. The trajectory is positive, and as the Patriots prepare for Super Bowl 60, Campbell's development will be crucial. He will be facing DeMarcus Lawrence, a relentless and technically gifted pass rusher who has accumulated 5 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and multiple pressures in just the last 2 playoff games. This is not a minor challenge. This is a test of Campbell's growth, his mental fortitude, and his ability to rise to the occasion when everything is on the line. As the countdown to Super Bowl 60 continues, all eyes in New England are on the Patriots' offensive line, and particularly on Campbell. The challenge he faces against DeMarcus Lawrence cannot be overstated. Lawrence is the kind of defensive force that changes games with a single play, a relentless presence who has the speed, the strength, and the technique to disrupt even the most prepared offensive schemes. For Campbell, this is not just a test of skill. It is a test of character, of preparation, and of resilience under pressure. The entire Patriots offense will rely on him to create pockets, protect the quarterback, and give Drake May the time he needs to make the big plays that will decide the championship. After all, when your quarterback is nursing a sore shoulder, every block, every assignment, every second of protection matters exponentially more. The margin for error is slim, and the Patriots know that if Campbell falters, the ripple effect could determine the outcome of one of the most anticipated games in football history. The pressure is immense, but Campbell has shown flashes of the talent that earned him this opportunity, and now it is about translating those flashes into consistent, game-defining performances on the biggest stage. Looking at the bigger picture, this is a story not just about individual matchups, but about the evolution of the team under a coach who, for nearly 2 decades, defined excellence. Bill Belichick's influence remains pervasive even as the franchise navigates this high-stakes moment without the first ballot Hall of Famer recognition he undeniably deserves. Every player on the roster has, in some way, been shaped by his approach to preparation, his attention to detail, and his uncompromising demand for discipline and execution. From the way players study film to how they approach situational football, the fingerprints of Belichick's philosophy are evident. Even though he may not be formally honored yet by the Hall of Fame, his legacy is alive in the locker room, in practice sessions, and in the high-pressure moments of playoff football. It's a legacy that extends beyond records and trophies. It is embedded in the culture of winning, the culture that expects nothing less than perfection in every detail. For a player like Campbell, stepping into a pivotal matchup against one of the league's elite pass rushers, that culture provides both a blueprint and a standard. Success isn't just about physical ability. It's about mental toughness, awareness, and the ability to perform when the stakes are highest. Meanwhile, the spotlight inevitably shifts to Drake May, whose right shoulder has been a point of concern as the Patriots gear up for the championship. Protecting the quarterback is paramount because May's ability to distribute the ball, read defenses, and make precise throws under pressure is directly linked to the performance of the offensive line. Every quarterback in NFL history has relied on the trust that their blockers will rise to the occasion. But in this case, the stakes are magnified by both the caliber of the opponent and the limited margin afforded by an injury. May's experience and resilience are undeniable, but even a quarterback of his skill set cannot overcome constant disruption from the defensive line. This is why Campbell's development is not just a subplot. It is central to the Patriots' strategy. Success on the line translates directly to offensive effectiveness. Time in the pocket equals better reads, better throws, and ultimately, more scoring opportunities. The Patriots coaching staff has undoubtedly emphasized this connection in every preparation session, drilling techniques, adjusting matchups, and ensuring that every player understands the critical nature of their responsibilities. The synergy between the quarterback and his blockers becomes even more pronounced in the context of a Super Bowl where every play is magnified, every mistake is consequential, and every success can tilt the balance of momentum. What makes this matchup even more compelling is the history and talent of the opposing defensive team. DeMarcus Lawrence is not just a regular pass rusher. He is a disruptive force whose impact is felt throughout the game. In the playoff games leading up to the championship, Lawrence amassed 5 tackles, 3 tackles for loss, 2 sacks, and 9 pressures. That is a level of dominance that requires both preparation and execution to counter. Campbell, and the Patriots' offensive line as a whole, will need to maintain peak focus, anticipate movements, and execute with near-perfect timing. It is a chess match, a test of physical ability matched with strategic intelligence. For fans, this is the kind of scenario that elevates football from a game to a spectacle, where the narrative is not only about wins and losses, but about individual battles that collectively shape the outcome of the championship. Watching Campbell step into this moment is both a source of excitement and anxiety, because while the potential is evident, the stakes leave no room for error. The Patriots' ability to succeed hinges on these crucial individual performances meshing seamlessly with the team's broader strategy, a testament to the intricate planning and execution that defines championship-level football. Beyond the immediate matchup, there is also the underlying narrative of resilience and redemption. While Campbell's postseason journey has been uneven, but the trajectory is upward. Early struggles in the playoffs revealed vulnerabilities, but subsequent games showed growth, adaptation, and an increasing understanding of high-stakes football. This mirrors the larger journey of the Patriots as a team, a franchise that has repeatedly faced doubt, adversity, and skepticism from the outside world and emerged stronger. Super Bowl 60 is more than just a game. It is a proving ground. For Campbell, it is an opportunity to demonstrate that he can rise to the occasion, hold his own against elite competition, and contribute meaningfully to a championship effort. For the Patriots, it is a chance to reaffirm their identity as a disciplined, well-prepared, and strategically superior team capable of overcoming individual challenges and collective pressure. Every snap, every block, and every decision on the field will carry weight, and Campbell's role in ensuring stability and protection for the quarterback is pivotal. The convergence of skill, preparation, and mental fortitude defines this critical moment in New England's football narrative. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. Your support helps us bring you the latest updates on the New England Patriots. And of course, drop your thoughts in the comments. We love hearing from Patriots fans. Nobody saw it coming. A quiet murmur that began on the edges of league circles has suddenly grown into a full-blown buzz, and it centers on a decision involving Stefon Diggs that has left executives, players, and fans caught off guard. The wide receiver, long known for his intensity and elite production, is now at the heart of speculation that suggests a potential separation could be closer than anyone anticipated. Diggs' path in the NFL has never followed a straight line. Drafted in the 5th round by Minnesota, he entered the league without the spotlight reserved for blue-chip prospects, only to force his way into prominence with sharp routes, big moments, and an unmistakable edge. His move to Buffalo in 2020 reshaped both his career and the franchise's offensive identity, turning him into one of the most feared receivers in football. That history is exactly why the current whispers feel so jarring. Around the league, the belief is that this is less about a single play or a single game and more about long-term direction. Some insiders hint that Diggs may be weighing his future, while others suggest teams connected to him, including New England, are reassessing their plans with unusual urgency. The secrecy surrounding the situation has only fueled the rumor mill, with no clear confirmation, only a shared sense that something is shifting behind closed doors. What makes the moment even more intriguing is Diggs' reputation as a competitor who demands clarity and commitment. Those close to him describe a player who values winning above comfort. And that mindset could be driving conversations that few expected to happen so soon. Whether this leads to a stunning exit or simply a reset of expectations, the fact remains that the league did not see this coming. For now, everything sits in the realm of speculation. Yet in a sport where surprises often arrive without warning, the Diggs situation feels like the kind of storyline that can redefine locker rooms and reshape narratives in an instant. That's it for today's update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving fresh and exclusive Patriots news, make sure to subscribe and hit like. We always appreciate hearing your opinions in the comments. See you in the next one, Patriots Nation.